Steve Hillage, L. I was inspired to re-listen to this album and talk about it after hearing Jack Smith's interview on this show. Jack plays psychedelic music and makes psychedelic art and listed Hillage as one of his favourite artists. I first saw Steve Hillage playing with Gong at the Lyceum, back when beer was 22p a pint, with no discount for underage drinkers like me. Steve Hillage was one of the incredible number of musicians that came out of the Canterbury scene, famous for bands like Caravan, Soft Machine, Hatfield and the North and Egg, back in the late 60s and early 70s. This was considered the credible face of progressive rock and got played on the John Peel Show, unlike the often derided giants of the genre like Yes and ELP, with their overblown works of high pretension and their musical athleticism. Steve Hillage left Gong and made some solo albums. His guitar playing is very melodic, a bit like Dave Gilmour. It is ideally suited to long, trippy instrumental pieces. There are bubbling synths and chanting. I saw him at Friars in Aylesbury and he had a device next to his guitar that looked like a spaceship, but had the purpose of increasing the sustain. The album L was an attempt at doing something commercial using the famous producer Todd Rundgren. The standout track is probably a version of Donovan's Hurdy-Gurdy Man. If you ever see a list of the worst Beatles songs, there is a good chance it will contain the George Harrison track, It's All Too Much. I have even seen it on a list of the worst George Harrison Beatles songs. Well, I always loved that song. It is the only reason to buy the Yellow Submarine soundtrack, and I absolutely love the Steve Hillage version on this album. The last time I saw Steve Hillage live was when he made a surprise appearance at the Reading Festival, guesting with the shouty punk layabouts Sham 69. Steve Hillage, L.